You know, I'm pretty sure that I'm 1/16th Cherokee Indian.
With the last name Abernathy? No, I think you're Scottish.
You got something against Scottish Indians?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
From the late 1700s and on into the 1800s, quite a few pioneers had moved into the Smokies. Because they had to have houses, furniture, fences, barns, and fuel, logging played an important role. If they were going to have anything at all outside of a garden, it had to come from a tree. Think about it. You live in a forest, what do you got? Trees.
By the mid-1800s, folks started logging for a profit, but it didn't really grow into a big business because getting the timber out of these mountains was quite a chore. I mean, honey, one mule can only drag so many logs. By the turn of the century, this logs for money idea began to change. The demand for lumber in the East was growing like wildfire, and someone was smart enough to say, hey, let's run a railroad back into these mountains. That, of course, made getting a large number of logs out of the mountains much easier.
While the Smoky Mountains were a gold mine for timber, it didn't take long for the logging companies to strip these mountains bare. The only sections of forest that were overlooked were the ones that were just too hard to get to. We now call these old-growth forests. This is an area where some trees are so big, it takes 4 or 5 people to reach around one. Now that's a big tree. So, the Smokies are bare, there's no work here, people are leaving to find employment elsewhere, and this breathtakingly beautiful portion of the eastern United States lies in limbo.
Then, in 1904, a librarian named Horace Kephart from St. Louis came to the Smokies and was so moved by the fact that all the timber was being stripped from these mountains, he decided to make a difference. He started promoting the idea of the Smokies becoming a national park. In the 1920s, some prominent people in Knoxville picked up on the idea and began raising money to purchase the land. Donations came in from everywhere, including a hefty $5 million from John D. Rockefeller.
The money was finally raised to purchase the 515,000 acres that make up the park, and in 1934, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in a dedication, announced that this area is now the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
And now that we've learned our history lesson, let's go have some fun.